So if you clicked on this video, you are either like, okay, finally someone is gonna be talking about this show and glazing it, or you might have just stumbled upon my video somehow down some YouTube rabbit hole about an anime you've never heard of. So let me enlighten you, all right? Because this show, in my opinion, is anime of the year in 2025. This is easily my favorite anime I've watched so far this entire year. All right. So let's just start with the premise of the show. The premise is it's a superhero anime, okay, and it takes place in a universe where uh, there is a ranked leaderboard. Okay, the heroes are ranked based on their strength, and they get their strength from the amount of trust the public has in them. So the more the public trusts you, the more powerful you are, the higher you are ranked on the leaderboards. And you could literally go from a nobody with no powers, just a regular person, and become a hero overnight just because people trust in you and they can give you your powers. Like they can be like, oh, I think this guy should be able to fly. This guy should be able to fly. He should be the best superhero ever. He flies everywhere, and then you just become able to fly. Okay, so that's how the power system kind of works. It's pretty cool. And then the opposing emotion, I guess you could say, is fear, and fear can like corrupt you. Fear is like what the villains are fueled by, I guess you could say. And so it's trust versus fear. And that's pretty much like the gist of it. Um, so the story doesn't follow one main character. I didn't really look into this before watching it. Like I didn't watch any trailers or anything. I don't like spoilers, so it doesn't follow one main character. It follows like seven or eight main characters, and you would think just from 24 episodes that would be a lot. It's just jumping around. You probably don't get to know them that well, but like you couldn't be any more wrong if you think that because you get to know so much about their backstories, their motivation for wanting to become the top hero, literally just from the few episodes that they let them shine. And that is like such a unique aspect of this show. I think that's like part of what really fuels me to like it so much is like there's just so many characters to like get into, getting to know, getting to love them or hate them, depending on your view. And they just all have these unique personalities uh, that bring them to this end point of like wanting to become Hero X. So from here, I would say I'm probably gonna end up talking about spoilers because I feel like that's as far as I would get. So if you haven't watched it, please go watch it. Please go watch it. Like, but if you want to get spoiled, I guess you can just get spoiled. All right, so I'm just gonna be glazing this show like the whole time, and I don't really have a script or anything. I'm going off the dome here. So one thing that's really cool in the show is it's like seamless transition from 3D to 2D. It is like so cool. Like it happens a lot within the first 5 or 6 episodes maybe, and then it goes away for a while and it's just 2D. Um, and then it comes back to 3D, 2D splitting again toward the end, and I'll get into that a little bit more later. But that style choice is so cool. Like, it's beautifully animated in both 3D and 2D. It is like insane. I want to know how long it took to animate this. It must have been like 4 or 5 years. Honestly, I gotta look into it because it is impressive. All right. Another good thing I like that elevates the animation is the music. There is banger after banger in this show. Literally, like every single episode, there's a new banger that comes out. Like every single character has like their own theme song. I don't think I skipped the intro or the outro once. I think I watched it all the way through for the entire show, and that's the first time I've ever done that. I'm still fairly new to anime, maybe like the last 5 years, but like this is the first show I can tell you, animated, non animated. I watched the intro and the outro every single time because as the story progresses, you kind of like see things and that connects to like something you've seen in the show, and you're like, oh, okay. So there's like a little bit of Easter eggs in there too. So that's kind of cool. And so another thing that's cool is since you're following all these main characters, it's actually not in chronological order. It's almost in like reverse chronological order, not entirely, but you follow this, one character, and then they overlap with like the next character toward the next character's like the end of their arc. And so like you have this like interwoven story and they're all connected in some way, which is pretty cool. Um but that brings me to like my one nitpick of the show, I guess, like that probably keeps it from being a 10 out of 10 is that some scenes are just reused. Like they'll they'll show you a scene from one character's perspective um in their arc, and then the next character's arc comes and you get to that same point in time, and they still show you like almost the entirety of like the same scene, and then there's like a little bit extra at the end or at the beginning from that character's point of view. And so like it didn't really bother me that much, but I feel like it could bother like some people. I'm assuming that's like probably budgeting purposes, or like so that you can fill the time up in that episode, because like I mean this show must have been so expensive to make, because like I said, that the animation quality, the music, everything, like it looks like it's a very expensive project. So for me, that didn't bother me. Um, Maybe some like hardcore anime fans, they that would bother them a little bit. But for me, that was fine. Um, and so yeah, like every character I think has a pretty good arc. The weaker ones, I would say Dragon Boy. It's his was only really not even like a full diving into his arc. I feel like that might come more in season two. Um, but yeah, overall, I enjoyed every character's arc. Like, you, I grew to love pretty much every character except I, I think Isol, like his whole thing, like I understand he got consumed by revenge almost, but he just like kind of straight up turned evil. Like I didn't really get that because he was such a nice dude before, but I guess that was like the whole point, is like it can show you that revenge can really mess you up. Um, but yeah, I'm not gonna dive into that. I guess I could make a whole separate video diving into each character, which I might do because this thing is awesome. Um, but a couple last things I want to talk about that I can think of right now is X. I really hope season two shows way more of him. I like that he's interspersed throughout the story, and every time he shows up, he's just aura farming like a motherfucker. Like it is crazy. The biggest aura farmer of 2025. That's also part of why this show should be so big. I'm not seeing it anywhere. Like it has to blow up. Like I don't get it. But maybe it has, and I'm just like not in the community like that. But I don't know. He's aura farming everywhere, and then that brings me back to my point from earlier. The 3D to 2D switching is him. It's like his power, part of his power. When he snaps his fingers, flips to 2D, flips to 3D. Every time he uses his powers, it's like changing. It's so cool. Like for usually I feel like I don't like when a character is just like OP, but they did such a good job at making an OP character that is like super likable. Like I can't even put into words like how awesome this character is, and I hope he kind of become almost, I don't want him to like be the sole focus on season 2, but I would like him to be fleshed out a little bit and learn more about him, like, and that would bring me to like my final point, I guess, is like this show just left me wanting more, and I cannot wait until the next season comes out, whenever that is. It's probably going to be in like 2 or 3 years, but I'll probably be 30 by the time it comes out. But yeah, I could go deeper into all these details, but I just wanted to get my surface level thoughts out there. This show's awesome. I hope someone finds this video that hasn't seen it yet and goes and watches it and enjoys it just as much as I do. I hope someone who does love watching has found this video and enjoyed listening to me just gush about it for 9-10 minutes. um but yeah, I don't know, I may make some more detailed videos in the future because there's a lot to talk about, but those are my just surface level thoughts, and that's all I got. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one.